Abraham was already in the middle of his intercession with God, his negotiation with God. He had already started to ask God that should there be 50 people, will you spare Sodom? And then Abraham, the scripture says, answered and said to Yahweh, indeed now I, who am but dust and ashes, I have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. Suppose, let's say there is 5 less than 50 righteous. Would Yahweh destroy all of the city for the lack of 5? And then we move on again. Abraham spoke to Yahweh yet again, because God said, no problem. If it is 45, I will spare Sodom. And Abraham spoke to Yahweh yet again. And one version add on this expression, pressing his request further. Abraham said, suppose they were only 40. And then Abraham continued on, and Abraham said, let not my Lord be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 only should be found. At the last time, he said, one more time, let not the Lord be angry. I will speak but once more. Suppose 10 should be found in Sodom. Would you spare the city? The text above shows us the heart of Abraham. When we say the heart of Abraham, it actually means his posture. What is deep inside him expressed into his posture, and then expressed into his words and his approaches to God. He was negotiating with God. He was bargaining with God. How did he approach this bargain? I think two things stands out very prominently. Number one, Abraham was persistent. Why was he persistent? Could it be because that Lot, his relative, was there? Maybe. In earliest chapter, we know that Abraham and Lot had some sort of a conflict and some quarrel, and Lot chose to go to Sodom and Gomorrah because that was a better place. Now, in many sense, Lot wasn't Abraham's best of friend, but yet in his heart, Abraham had that compassion and he was persistent. He did not simply give up. He travailed in his intercessory prayer. From 50, he negotiated to 45, and then to 40, and then to 30, and then to 20, and then to 10. As I look at this, a question popped up in my heart. Why did Abraham stop at 10? What if he continued his negotiation and he pressed on to 5? Or maybe even he dare press on to 1. Because we know in the next chapter that at the end of the story, although 4 persons fled from Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot, his wife, and the 2 daughters, although 4 persons fled from Sodom and Gomorrah, only 3 survived. Yes, Abraham was persistent. And he travailed in prayer, and here's something we can learn from.